around the world. Yeah, I know he can take you places. I ain't finna take you nowhere. All I got for you is fuck faces.
You know, being on YouTube, you see the pros and cons of testosterone, the pros and cons to being transgender, but you don't really see the pros and cons to passing. And just like, you know, being a cis male or woman has its struggles, so does being a passing transgender person. You know, the first major thing that changes once you start passing is that you don't have to worry about uncomfortable situations, about people not, you know, seeing you as a man or woman, people not using the correct pronouns that you desire, people, you know, not seeing you the way that you are. When leading from that, I want to talk about confidence because, you know, once you stop worrying about situations like that, once you feel more comfortable in your skin, once you know, really love yourself, that's when your confidence skyrockets. That's when, you know, you feel so good about yourself and, you know, you just start living a happier life. You know, another small thing that I really noticed being at college is that being a white man, people tend to you know, trust your intelligence. They tend to, you know, believe what you say without giving any factual information, which is crazy. You know, I don't want to make this video solely about the pros and cons to being a woman versus a man, but, you know, society really has a blurred view of the difference between the two genders. One example that I really want to talk about is that, you know, let's say we have a man and a woman and they're both talking about what it is to be female. They're talking about femininity and feminists, and, you know, we tend to look at the woman as, you know, complaining and whiny and, wow, they need to work harder. They're doing something wrong, while, you know, we'll stand there and we'll look at the man as if, you know, he's this open-minded, progressive, you know, leader who's gonna lead the, you know, the world to this better, you know, positive environment, this better place. You know, the first con that I want to talk about is that, you know, most of the time transgender people don't really fit up to society's standards of what masculinity is. And it's very difficult, you know, speaking for myself, being, you know, growing up as a woman for 17 years, you take on characteristics, you take on traits that have been, you know, not pushed on you, but kind of carried along with you, you know, by environment, by friends, by family. Being looked at as a feminine male in society, it means that you're homosexual or you're weak, or that, you know, you're not the alpha male that, you know, society sees, you know, a good man as. One con that drives me crazy is that women look at men as predators. Women are scared of men, and I get that, trust me. You know, I understand, you know, most bad people are men. Do I have statistics to back that up? No. Am I making an assumption? Yes. But besides that, you know, I feel horrible that, you know, thinking that a woman would walk next to me on the street at night and, you know, would say, oh my god, like what's about to happen? Is he gonna do something? Or, you know, taking out their phone, like, should I dial 911? Or what else? Or they're texting their friend, you know, if I don't text you in 5 minutes, like, call the police, I'm here, da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, knowing a woman could be next to me thinking that, it's very hard to deal with. One thing that completely tears me up is that, you know, being looked at as a white male, society has this whole idea that all white men have privilege, and I'm not saying that they don't, I'm not saying that they do. You know, I think it kind of depends on the person, but, you know, that being said, it has this whole idea that white men didn't work for anything, that white men were given everything, and, you know, for me, I have had to work for a lot. For everything that I've overcome from here, it's very sad to think that someone would look at me as someone who was given everything and didn't have to face any, uphill battles, any challenges in life. And the whole idea of this video is not to say that, being a man is harder than being a woman. It's not to say that being a woman is harder than being a man. It's really just focusing on what to expect, once you start passing, and whether that's, whether you're pre-T or whether you're 5 months on testosterone, you're going to pass at some point, and it is helpful to hear from other people and hear, what they have been going through, just to see what you're going to expect, or what you're gonna have to worry about. Before I end this video, I kind of just want to bring up a situation. And growing up, I had a close relative who would always say this one line to me, and they would always say, "It is so hard to be a man." And it was a woman who said it, and they said, "I would never want to be a man. It's so hard." And then I kind of thought, wow, I must be lucky to be a woman. I must, I must just be lucky to be a woman in this society. I must have really, gotten the long end of the stick. And it wasn't till, I've grown, it wasn't until I started learning more that sometimes, what you were meant to do and what you were meant to be isn't supposed to be easy. And when I say that, I mean that yes, maybe, being a white man in society is harder. Maybe it's not, but you know what? You can't help what you were meant to do. And I believe that I was meant to transition, and maybe that's harder. Maybe that's harder in the long run, but sometimes it's what you were meant to do. Those are just a few of my thoughts put together. I really hope to be uploading another video some point soon. Probably going to be about a conversation that I had with someone in my dorm they are non-binary, and kind of wanted to talk about that and kind of put my thoughts out there, see what everyone else thinks. So until then, I'll see you guys next week.